Well, good afternoon. Getting the thing organized here. Welcome to another edition of Take 5. And that's not the best camera angle in the world, but we're going to go with it. We're in Matthew chapter 10. By the way, it is March 15th, 2011. Matthew chapter 10. Jesus is giving instructions to his 12 apostles in this little short mission trip that they're going to take just to the children of Israel. But this is giving them some experience that they're going to need later when he sends them into the whole world. He's giving them some specific instruction here for this trip, but some of these things he tells them will also apply later, and we'll see some of that right now in verse 16. Behold, I am sending you out as sheep in the midst of wolves. So be wise as serpents and innocent as doves. Beware of men, for they will deliver you over to courts and flog you in their synagogues, and you will be dragged before governors and kings for my sake, to bear witness before them and the Gentiles. When they deliver you over, do not be anxious how you are to speak or what you are to say, for what you are to say will be given to you in that hour, for it is not you who speak, but the Spirit of your Father speaking through you. So, as you can see, back in verse 5, he said, don't go among the Gentiles, but now he says that you are going to be a witness before the Gentiles. So these instructions will be in effect later as well. But right now, they're not going to go to the Gentiles. He's just telling them some things that are going to happen later on. And just some general principles there he tells them are good for us as well. So let's take a few of them. He says, to be wise as serpents and innocent as doves, because he's sending them out like sheep among wolves. That's some real good advice there. What does that mean? Wise as serpents and innocent as doves. Well, you got to realize something. You're going into the world. It's under the world's philosophies, the world's system. They're not spirit-filled people. They don't think like we do. So you can't deal with people in the world the way you deal with Christians. A lot of Christians make this mistake. And they try to go into business with non-Christians and expect them to act that way, or at their job they expect them to be that way, or they're just not. So just realize that. Now be innocent as doves. You don't want to be the one violating the commands of God. But you don't want to be a pushover either. I think that's the idea. You don't purposely let people take advantage of you. Now, if they persecute you because you're a Christian, well, that's to be expected. But if they persecute you because you're stupid, see, that's what he's saying. Just be careful here. And he said, beware of men, because they're going to deliver you over to courts and flog you in their synagogues. And they did do that to the apostles. That doesn't really happen in 2011 America, because we have constitutional guarantees of freedom of speech and freedom of worship, although those things are always tenuous and we have to fight for them. But these things do actually still happen in other countries, and Christians are persecuted and flogged and even killed. We need to remember that and be praying for those folks, and continue to fight for our freedoms here. And be sure you vote the right way, and don't let people take your freedoms for granted. And he also says, when they deliver you over, don't worry about what you're going to say. It's going to be given to you. And I believe that's still true too. Whenever you're put in a situation where you have to stand up for Jesus, God will give you the strength you need. He'll give you the words you need. He'll give you the faith you need. God loves, he loves those who stand up for him. He especially loves the persecuted, and he especially loves the martyrs. He loves everybody. But I believe there is a special place in his heart for those who are willing to pay the ultimate price, make the ultimate sacrifice because of their love for him. But he'll give you everything you need, whether it's words, whether it's faith, whether it's courage. He'll give it to you if you're faced with that. Isn't that encouraging? So I would say let's hope that doesn't happen here, but maybe we need some of that to strengthen us. So I'm not going to say either way there. It's not going to happen too much in America anyway. But you know what? You be bold wherever you are. You stand up for Jesus in whatever situation you're in. Whether you're being persecuted by the government or somebody at work's giving you a hard time, or somebody in your family, or even somebody in your own church is giving you a hard time because you're a little more righteous than they are, you stand up for truth with humility and with gentleness like Jesus. All right, come back tomorrow for another edition of Take 5.